This is In My Lounge Room, and I'm your host, Skye.
And I'm your host, Damo, and in this week's episode, we're talking about dating in our advanced years.
Oh my gosh, don't say it like that.
Hey, well, you used the word old maid.
Oh, that's true, I did. Yes,
Right.
okay. Hey, Damo.
Hey, Skye, how you doing?
Great. I'm great. Yeah,
It's been a while since we've been sitting in these chairs.
it has. It has been a while. At least
Well, the last time we recorded, we were at my house anyway, so
Okay.
we're in different chairs.
True,
so it's
that's
even
true.
longer.
Yeah, so at least 6 weeks between.
The last time we recorded was the 26th of March.
Oh, God, that's
Yeah.
not that long ago.
There's a bit of a boomy sound in here, but that's because there's a drum kit in this room.
There is.
And my voice is reverberating through those drums.
Oh, annoying.
Well, it's going to come across.
Do I need to put Doonas, you think?
No, they're
Okay.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think that it's going to change the audio in either way. I'll fix it in post.
Cool.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, it's now footy season. Yeah.
Yeah, has
So
been
move
footy
past-
season for a while.
Well, no, it's junior footy season.
Oh,
That
okay.
started this
Yeah, right,
weekend.
yeah.
So now I know it's the Dockers have been playing for a few weeks now. But now
Have they been playing or they just been turning up?
Well, they've been turning up. I'm not sure what else we'd call it, actually. I went with my mum and sister last week to the game, and it was just we left halfway through the fourth quarter. Yeah.
I love football fans though. How like when your team's winning, it's the greatest thing on earth. But like when they're losing, fuck you wankers, we're going
Yeah.
home. I've got a friend who's on Facebook. His name's Brett, and he is so impassioned, bleeds purple. But at the same time, he's the most critical of the team I've ever seen. And
Sounds like
I think
my
like
dad.
last week or the week before his game, you were getting flogged, and he's like, yeah, fucking making comments about
Yeah.
players on Facebook. And this dude, Paul, jumps on. He's like, man, you should be banned from social media while the football's on. Like, for the duration of a Dockers game,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to near
I
your
agree.
phone because, like, he just can't help himself just saying the most horrible things about this team he apparently loves. So,
Actually, I never do that. I mean, I make comments. So
yeah, but you use social media differently,
I mean, let's
so
be honest, I really do.
we've discussed that. Yeah.
My sister got a tattoo.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she has one that's like of her children's names.
You got a new? Did you get a new?
I did. Yeah.
Newly inked, flowery, super girly.
Yeah, that's how I roll. There is like an element in there which we're working on, which is the eating disorder sign. It's
Okay.
like the butterflies
It's like
are
a
there.
ribbon or something type thing, or
It's almost like an eternity sort of sign.
Okay.
Right? And then that's related to, that's why there's butterflies, because the butterfly,
is a rebirth
foundation.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
there's meaning behind it, other than
Yeah.
the fact that it's also really pretty.
Tattoos don't have to mean anything. Tattoos can just mean I had some spare money and some time.
Well, yeah.
You
I mean,
know.
I didn't have spare money. I paid it off. So
Are you-
I lay by my tattoos.
Are you a numbing cream goer? No.
No. Are you?
No fucking way. But
Hardcore, man. Hardcore.
no, because I actually enjoy it. I like
Same.
that feeling. Yeah.
Same.
But it's. I'm not going to begrudge people for using the numbing cream. Some people are like, "Oh, if you use numbing cream, you're a pussy. You're supposed to feel the pain." But no, maybe they don't want to feel the pain. Maybe they just want some nice art on their body.
People have epidurals when they have babies, and that's totally fine.
I don't think tattoo. Not having had a baby, but I don't think having a baby and having a tattoo are very close to each other
I mean,
on the
they're
pain
not.
scale. Like,
I know, but some natural birthers, the ones that do no pain, they actually like have a go at people who had epidurals that they're not.
yeah, but that's human nature, isn't
Yeah.
it? People are always going to consider what they did to be
That's
the
true.
best way to do it.
That's true.
And it's also some people it's justifying yourself.
People
like people do that in all aspects
Oh,
of life.
absolutely.
Like with you might prefer Hungry Jack's over McDonald's. I'm going to go at a base level here. I'm not going to talk about anywhere actually good because neither of them are actually good.
No,
but
the
you might
burgers
say,
are better at Hungry Jack's.
Well, apparently, if you believe the marketing hype.
believe the marketing.
But they're both pretty bottom of the barrel food places.
Yeah.
So neither of them are great, but you're allowed to have a preference.
That's true.
And so if you like Hungry Jack's, you're like, yeah, Hungry Jack's is great, McDonald's sucks. Or I like the Dockers and the Eagles suck. That's your preference. You're allowed to. But the difference with sport is you're then allowed to tell other people that they're wrong.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah, but with food preferences, music preferences, you don't get to tell other people that their preferences are wrong.
People like to, like if you say, like just the logo. The logo. Yeah.
So that's the current logo?
Yeah.
So what happens when they change it?
Good question.
She's retro.
Yeah.
Because they do that. It's because that's
regularly.
not the...
That's branding.
Go back to 1990. When did the Dockers...
1995.
1995. And go back to that logo.
Okay, let's have a look. I think it was very different.
Very different. It was yellow. But so it was green.
It was green, red. And, there we go. It had a man and everything.
It had a man holding an anchor.
Yeah.
And it was rounded. This is like... That's very modern. That whole like, you know...
The font and
everything. Is that an
Arial?
Oh, no, it's not, is it? It's
no,
good.
It's not Helvetica, is it?
No, so the old one is like a stretched Helvetica.
Yeah.
Okay. And the new one's got like
fancy
edges on it, like a type.
Almost like Roboto.
Yeah. So, but it's very like modern. Have you noticed your logos do that over time? Like, in the 90s and going back to, so logos in the 50s and 60s were very like, you know, gaudy and, you know, expressive. Logos that, lots of colours, lots of expression. But let's just look like, there's a logo right there, Supplement Mart.
Yes. Yeah.
It's straight font and an S in a box.
Yeah.
Look at how the Chrome logo has changed over the years. It used to be like a three-dimensional type thing and then it went just completely flat.
Well, look at Red Rooster. That logo is, I hardly recognise it.
Yeah. But anyway, so what were we talking about? Your sister got a tattoo. She got a Dockers tattoo. We were talking about the Dockers.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know, that thread's probably gone. I think I was trying to go back to where we were, but we weren't anywhere.
That was season. We're just a footy season. Yeah. So I'm back to. I'm a footy mum. I'm now doing. I'm on the committee of the North Mandurah Junior Football Club.
Well, according to certain people, you are the total league.
I mean, pretty much.
The league happens because of you, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's your fault when the games are scheduled and what time they happen. Yeah.
Honestly, it is all my fault. I have so much power.
Yeah.
With
Isn't
the
that
North
a
Mandurah.
good feeling? Yeah.
It is an amazing feeling that basically I run it.
Isn't it great being criticised for something that's completely out of your control?
It is fun. I really enjoy it. I do enjoy that. Those messages I receive.
Yeah. People can read between the lines, but scheduling of children's sport is not a parent's fault.
No.
Because the child wants to take part in that sport, you're not going to hold that against the child or the parent. If the child wants to play football and football happens to be at 9 a.m. on Sunday, I mean, my entire life, football was a morning sport.
Yeah. Netball was I did netball.
If it happens to be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's what the league decides or the organisation decides.
So I was a swimmer and swimming training is 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it has to be.
So my parents dealt with that.
Yeah,
but they never went, no more, Skye.
I'm too caught up in my own life to worry about the children's lives.
Right.
But so anyway.
What about you?
Oh,
how are you?
Yeah, good.
Cool.
Just normal shit. Been working on my music.
You have?
I took Billy to Melbourne for 4 days in school holidays.
Of food?
Yeah, I did. I deleted all of my photos off social media, all of my posts.
I enjoyed it though at the time.
Yeah, no, it was good. But I removed all record of me going to Melbourne from Facebook and Instagram because I just can't handle people.
I know, but I really enjoy being able to be like, where's the peace sign? And where's, I
don't think people really appreciated that the reason for my holiday was Billy and her enjoyment of what we were doing. Some people are going, did you go and look at blah, blah, blah? No, do you think an 11-year-old child is interested in that? You know, like it's whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah.
On the Wednesday, I did 27,500 steps.
I love this.
So it's like 20 kilometres.
Yeah.
It's just kind of shopping, walking around.
And did she love it?
She had a ball.
That's all that matters,
it was incredible. So like people are like, you should go for no, did you go out to fucking wherever and look at the whatever? And I'm like, No. That's like, for a start, we didn't have transport.
No.
I'm not going to catch a train for an hour and a half.
No.
Mind you, like I said before, it's not like Perth where, you know, things are really, really far away from each other.
It wouldn't take that long, but still, like, certain things 11-year-olds aren't interested in.
No, but it's like, you know, we went down to St Kilda on the tram, and it was like Billy fucking loved the trams.
Trams are
just
awesome.
loved the whole concept of the trams, and then it blew her mind that because in the city the trams are like separate from the road. Okay, but when you get out into the suburbs, the trams
are like part of the road.
Part of the road.
Yeah.
So the cars have to wait behind the trams when they stop, like they're a bus. And we got off the tram and she's like, there's cars behind us. I said, yeah, because we're now in the suburbs and the roads aren't wide enough to have dedicated tram line and the road and cars either side. She's like, wow, it's like a bus that you can't turn corners like where you want. And I'm like,
so cool.
Basically they are. They're much easier to deal with bus.
There's like Hong Kong, it has trams and they're very cool. Like, and they just go next to like the buses, and there's trams and buses. And
well, we used to have them here.
Yeah, I know.
Very long time ago.
Why did we get rid of it? Why?
I don't know. It's not big enough for trams. It's only around the city, and also because of the way that it's kind of structured right near the river there, with only 2 bridges going to the other side.
Good point.
Melbourne's, the CBD is much more expansive, but the overall suburban sprawl is fucking tiny compared to Perth. Like I was saying, like leaving the city, the centre of the city, and going to the airport was 25 minutes, and the airport is literally in the middle of nowhere. You get out and you're like, okay, we're in the countryside here. Our airport is still just on the edge of suburbia.
Just on the edge.
And there's still other things on the other side of it. So it's kind of still in suburbia. And it takes 40 minutes to get to our airport. And it's still in the suburbs. Yeah. Although some cities, the airport's in the damn city, which is freaky.
It is.
Or like Adelaide, where it's right near the beach. So you fly
when you
in
fly,
over the water.
Yeah, that is really weird.
Yeah. But so that was cool. That was weird that it seems like there's that juxtaposition between Melbourne's so big, but it's not. The city's big.
Yeah. And
the suburbs are tiny.
Yeah.
Perth goes on forever and ever and ever a day. Like driving down here today is 59 minutes. There's still more.
Yeah. Keep going.
Still, I could keep driving for another 15 minutes before I get out of the city. Yeah. Or out of town. But anyway, so that was about it. I've had 2.5 weeks off, spending 24/7 with an 11-year-old. And that was something that you're grateful that work and school exist.
Right.
So, yeah.
Work and school. School is amazing.
So I'm assuming so we're going back to my introduction was dating in our advanced years, but the motivation for that came from, you said you wanted to talk about what it's like to date in your 40s.
Yeah.
Now, if this was like, I don't know, 1730, you know, like
the 18th. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Yes,
then 40
yes.
would be super old.
Well,
right?
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Would be dead or just?
It depends how rich you
I wouldn't
were.
have any teeth.
Well, it depends how rich you are.
Yeah.
You might not have any teeth at 16.
True.
But
so let's assume that I'm just middle class. No, let's assume I'm poor.
There was no middle class in those days. There was rich and poor.
Right, let's assume I'm poor. I am...
You're dead.
I'm dead.
Yeah. Although, like Dave and Gareth pointed out on the dollop, you may, or on Past Times, if you're rich... The only reason you might live longer, because people did live into their 70s and 80s if they were wealthy. Poor people lived into their 30s and 40s if they were lucky enough to survive childbirth.
I know,
So that's why, like...
They had 10 children.
Yeah. And they were talking about there was a turning point in history where you can see where people were having like 3 or 4 kids, suddenly started having 10, 20 children each because they were used to procreate, like producing so many kids because they knew that if we have 10 babies, 4 of them might survive.
That's right.
Then all of a sudden medical science started to kick in and those 10 babies all survived. And so that's like, well, we have to stop having as many babies now because they're all surviving, which is weird. Speaking of the dollop, and we're going to get back onto what was just talking the old maid dating. Yeah. But one of my favourite Australian comedy troupes is Auntie Donna.
They were on
Past Times. And I listened to Auntie Donna. They're just 3 dudes from Melbourne and they are in their 30s, early 30s now. they're so absurd and funny, and they were perfect for pastimes because of their like the way they improv.
And because one of them obviously has a bit of a thing for American history.
Well,
so,
they're all really intelligent dudes.
Yeah, that's obvious.
They play it down, but yeah.
They clearly know more than Gareth.
Well, Gareth knows nothing. But
Gareth, I love you.
Zach Ruane, he's Irish Australian, and so he's just a very worldly dude. And so because he was talking about like journalism, long form journalism.
Yeah, that was really interesting when they were talking about that.
Broden
really
talking about history, like jumping in because Broden's an educated guy. Yeah. Mark just pretends he's dumb.
Yeah.
But he's the little cheeky dude. It was interesting not hearing them swear as much because they are very sweary boys.
Yeah, there was almost no swearing.
Well, there was a little, but it wasn't like it was American level.
Yeah.
You know, which is completely different to Australian level.
Very true.
But yeah, that was great. It was like those two were my two favourite things: Dave and Gareth.
Yeah.
And the Arnie Donna boys.
Yeah. Well, I know of them, but I don't know them really well.
They're still fairly. They're considering. I mean, they've been around now.
They've been touring America heaps.
Yeah. But they've been around since like 2011.
Yeah. So I know of them, and I know you talk of them. But it was cool to listen. I really enjoyed that episode a lot, actually.
They just had a new series on ABC called Coffee Cafe.
Okay.
And it's like because they're like. You know, their age group and stuff. It's very much pulling the piss out of cafe culture.
Which is ridiculous.
It's
anyway.
fucking hilarious. But they had a series on Netflix 2-3 years ago, just before the pandemic. It was Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun is on Netflix. That was pretty fun. It's absurd. And then they've got all these web series and their YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And their characters are absurd.
I mean, it was a funny episode. I really enjoyed it.
It's really good. You should look up Auntie Donna, either on YouTube or on
Well, I had a quick
Insta.
search on their like Insta and everything. And because I've heard you talk, and I was like, I need to watch more. I saw some of their like comedy like moments. But yeah,
I kind of like. I've spoken about Sushi Mango before, which are the three Italian guys.
Yes, you have.
They're wearing a bit thin on me.
You said that last time, actually. Yeah,
like, because of like some of the like almost transphobic comments, like pulling piss out of pronouns and stuff. It's
I don't like that.
It's not necessary.
Not anymore.
And like as individuals on their Instagrams, like making like borderline anti-vax statements, like, you know, like, oh, the pandemic's not real shit. Yeah. That kind of crap. I'm like...
You know what I'm fascinated by? Unvaccinated call themselves purebloods. I find that so funny.
It's ridiculous.
And so there was a guy on dating apps, they call themselves purebloods. They actually put pure blood. And I'm like, and for ages I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh, left swipe.
Fucking hell. Yeah, that's exactly right. Keeps them away. Speaking of, circle back around.
Oh, yeah, look at us.
So in the last 4 weeks since I've seen you, how's the dating going?
Rubbish.
Wow.
Rubbish. Yeah, absolutely rubbish.
Can I just address the term old maid, though, because you did say old maid before.
Yeah.
To be an old maid, you have to be a virgin.
Yeah, well, I'm feeling it at the moment.
Because it goes back to those 1700s times.
So one thing that I didn't mention to everyone, but I mentioned to you, was that I also had a couple of dates with one guy who was ethically non-monogamous. Yep. And
once again, you went, I can do this.
I can totally do this.
Third time lucky. I'm sure this will work.
I am so good at this. Anyway, it didn't work. Yeah. So once again, Skye was just treated a bit like shit.
Were you treated like shit, or you just not want to be treated like someone who is in that position?
The thing is, when our first date, he goes, I'd listened to your podcast and you said you weren't willing to do this again. I'm like, yes. I said I wasn't, but I've explained to you that I just didn't like the way I was communicated with, and that I need to be respected. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I totally get that, and I will 100% make sure that's how I treat you.
Well,
but also my thing is, I think what happened, because he showed her like our podcast, and then she probably listened, and then she probably found our social media, and then I think that once they realize the person is real, like, then I think women often feel threatened. I don't care what they say.
Possibly, I don't know.
I'm not saying I'm amazing,
I see.
But
in a lot of ways, right? And this is not for everyone, so don't take this as a blanket statement. But I think that in a lot of circumstances, I'm not going to say majority, let's say a certain amount. Okay. I'm just qualifying everything I say here. I should just stand by it.
Stand by it, yeah.
So let's say you've got two plants.
Okay.
Okay. Now, both of those plants need water and
Yeah.
fertilizer
Yeah.
and sunshine to a certain amount, right? So you put one plant out in the sun and give it all the water and all the fertilizer it needs, and it's doing perfectly well. But then you bring another plant in, you need to put that out in the sunshine and give it an equal amount of water and an equal amount of sunshine and an equal amount of fertilizer. However, if you're still only using the same amount of sunshine, the same amount of fertilizer and the same amount of water, and you split that between the two plants, neither plant is getting what it needs.
That's true.
Or you look after one plant more than you do the
Yeah.
other. You should be just buying twice as much fertilizer and
You
giving them
should.
twice as much water
Yeah.
because there's now two plants. But I think what a lot of people do is they split, and let's call your fertilizer and your water and whatnot, the love and the emotions that you have, you split that, you try and split that equally between two people, but your level is, so let's say you've got 10 to give to one person, and then a second person comes along. Are you giving them 10 and 10, or are you giving them 5 and 5, or are you giving them 8 and 2?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's 8 and 2.
Yeah.
I think with each time that I've experienced this, it's an 8 and 2.
Was that a reasonable analogy? Did I make
Perfect.
sense?
Yeah,
okay.
because I suddenly got it. The light went on. I think that's what it is. Like, it's different with children. Like, I mean, when I was pregnant with Benjamin, I had a big fear that I wouldn't be able to love him as much as I love Joshua. And it doesn't work like that. You basically just love them as much as each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hate them as much as each other. It's normal. It's parenting. But I think it's different with
You have a
relationships.
favourite,
No, I do not have a favourite. I do not have a favourite. I love them both equally, and they're both
Having
amazing.
a favourite doesn't mean you love the other one less.
I just feel that Benjamin is just harder work sometimes.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
can
saying.
have you can have a different favourite each day depending on
Sure.
having one. Like Billy's my favourite all the time until she's a pain in the ass, and
Yeah.
then she's not my favourite.
Yeah, so that's
The cat's
my
up, you know.
favourite child is the one that isn't being an asshole today.
Yeah. Basically. But yeah, so sorry. So yeah, but that's it. It's the emotional split.
Yeah.
So do you feel that you were on the lower side of that?
Fuck yeah.
Every
and
time.
then I felt like, and then he was definitely lying to me. So one time he said to me,
Was he?
yes, and I'll tell you why. Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
He said to me, Skye, I've had a family incident. I'm not going to be online all weekend. I'm just going to deal with that, and then I'll talk to you again.
Did he
Sunday
define
evening.
family incident?
No.
Let's left it at that.
No, and I went, okay. And so, no, I didn't hear from him all weekend.
Yeah.
And then suddenly 5:30 on Sunday, he appeared. Like, as in,
Okay.
hey. And then we caught up. And then we were going to catch up again on Easter weekend because I didn't have the boys Saturday. And he messaged me Thursday going, oh, hey, Skye. It's an AFL notification. Very important.
Cool.
Hey, Skye, family incident again. I'm going to have to cancel on you. And I was like, fuck that.
Family incident.
Yeah. I think either his girlfriend, partner, whatever, was all like, no, focus on me. Or, yeah, he's just dating so many other people that he doesn't have time to.
It's pretty broad though.
Yeah.
But also I'm just going to say, like, if let's say, I'm not going to talk in terms of ethically non-monogamous relationships, but let's say like family versus dating.
Yeah.
If I'm dating and there is a family incident, who am I going to talk to about that? The person I'm dating.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be like, oh, so this happened to my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah,
And
like to me-
I'll be in touch, but that's like not just family incident, back off.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's
Hi, I'm
just-
back.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, my mum's sick or I've got to go to the hospital, my blah, blah. I'd be like, no worries. Totally fine. What the fuck? It's a family incident. So anyway, at that point I went, fuck this. I cannot handle this emotional roller coaster bullshit.
And just whether or not he was actually, let's say he was telling the truth and there was a family incident. It's not about him. It's about you, how you feel
Yeah.
in that.
Right. At that moment, I felt like shit.
Yep.
And I went, I'm out.
Which isn't necessarily his fault.
No.
It's just how it happens in
yeah,
these
sure.
things for
And
you.
look,
So-
maybe there was a huge family incident
Yeah.
twice, and you had to deal with it, and that's fine.
But you're not being communicated to openly and fairly enough for
Well,
you to be
it's-
able to feel.
Also, it's just really weird to message me saying I will be out of. I just won't be. That's why he said I've had a family incident. I'm not going to be able to message you all weekend, but I haven't ghosted you. I'll talk to you Sunday.
Oh, speaking of ghosting.
Oh, the new one.
Well, it's not new.
No, sorry. It's not new.
It's something that people have always done. It's just people have given it a name. And that shits me about social media where and you see an article going, this new term, zombie. It's like, you've just given it a fucking name. Yeah. That's what people do. They disappear.
Yeah, and
then
back.
4 months later they come back and go, hi, how you doing? It's like, oh, you're back from the dead, are you? Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's got a name. Yeah.
So I saw that and I was just like...
Someone said, is that when you're dating someone who really likes the cranberries? Me, I really like the cranberries.
Yeah, no, I saw that and that's what I was going to bring up. It's like... everything exists. You're just giving it a term.
Yeah. Well, so then I messaged him saying, honestly, I said to you that I just needed full communication and to feel that I wasn't just being treated like rubbish. I felt like you're not being 100% honest with me, and I'm just feeling a little bit like it's on your terms. So I think I'd prefer not to see you anymore.
Okay. So what prompted the messages relating to age?
So I've had 2 experiences recently. Mm-hmm. So okay,
Is that 2 experiences or Sue experiences? I think you said Sue experiences. Yeah, that's all right.
I've had
We'll
2.
check that in post. But
I've
sorry,
2.
I'm listening.
Well, no, I've had lots of experience lately. Shut up.
Listening too much Auntie Donna. Just jumping on every word you say. But
I know.
On,
I'm not talking now. That's it. I'm going into silence.
You're talking.
Right. So I have been swiping like a crazy lady. Not really. I've just been swiping normally. And I've been matching heaps, but I haven't been matching a lot actually. And so 2 things happened. One, I was going to go on a date.
Are you swiping right though?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting some matches.
Yeah, because I mean, you will, as a woman, we've discussed
I'm only
before.
swiping left. I can't believe I'm getting no matches.
No, but like as a woman, swiping right, you will get matches at some point. It might be like 1 in 10.
Yeah,
but for men, it's like 1 in 50.
Right, well, I'm definitely getting matches.
Yeah.
But
because you get matches, like we said, because of those guys who only swipe right on everybody without looking.
Yeah.
And I saw a YouTube video where there's a mechanical finger that will swipe right for you, so you can just put it on your phone and you don't have to look at it.
Yeah. So no, I'm getting matches. Okay, so 2 experiences lately. I was meant to go on a date with a guy, so we'd been messaging. We had a phone call on the Friday.
How quaint.
I know, right?
Yeah. It's the hat too. Skye's wearing a golf hat, like an old man's like 1940s Andy Cap hat.
Yeah. I look awesome.
But anyway, carry on. Yeah.
Anyway, so
I did ask her to make me a coffee earlier. So you've got your tattoos and
I know the tattoo. The only thing I don't have is a man bun.
Yeah, but that's all right because
facial hair.
Yeah, no, but you still, because you're in food service, you have to have your hair up.
That's true.
So yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, go on. Sorry.
So I went. Yeah. So anyway, we had a phone call, and then I'd been messaging him that night, and then the next day I messaged him because we decided where we were going to meet for like a drink.
Yeah.
But not the time. So I messaged him in the morning, going like, "What time?" Yeah, I told you about this. What time should I get the babysitter?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Did you hear from him again?
No, because I messaged him. Remember you said to me?
Oh, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, because I was like, don't panic yet. He might be working. He might be busy.
Yeah. And
however, the fact that, because my question to you was, had you set a time? And you said, have you set a time and place? And you said, set a place, not a time. And so therefore I need a babysitter. I can't just be like rocking up at an arbitrary time and sitting around like an idiot.
No.
I mean, you didn't say that, but that's basically what it is.
Yeah. Because I've got to pay for this person.
Yeah.
I don't normally actually organise dates when I've got the boys, but I was just like, well, why not?
And like I said, it's probably not considering this kind of thing happening, it's probably not the best idea.
No, I won't be doing it again. No. So I messaged him at 3 and I literally just said, so I'm going to assume, as I haven't heard from you, that I shouldn't organise the babysitter.
Yeah, because realistically, 3 o'clock is late afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could be, considering the time of year it is, it's dark by 6:30.
Yeah.
You could be going out for a 6 p.m. drink.
Yeah.
A 5 p.m. drink. So that's that's cutting it really fine.
So we were catching up at 7, but still, that needed me to give enough time for my babysitter.
Babysitter could have got another gig by then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to let her know, sorry, no, you're not needed. So I sent him a message at 3 saying, I'm going to assume we're not catching up and I don't need a babysitter. Nothing.
Nothing.
No. So at
Nothing
that point,
since.
no.
Did he read that?
No. I don't know.
Okay.
We were on text
I wonder
message.
which hospital he's in.
Well, I'd assume probably Fiona Stanley.
Yeah. Because he clearly something terrible happened to him.
Yeah, something terrible.
Um,
Otherwise, he's been taken by that same guy in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be a thing.
That guy that your husband knew back in the day. Yeah,
goes to me
he
after
died.
6 days.
Yeah. So then the week later, you had another similar experience.
It ended up not being as terrible, but I was going to catch up for drinks with a guy.
Now, had you done the sensible thing and you were already talking to both these guys knowing that there's a possibility that one of them might die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how I roll these days.
You have to. Yeah.
No, I just assume that everyone's going to die.
Yeah.
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 You can't just be so I saw there was a conversation going on.
We're obviously talking about turning into a ghost, but I prefer to say they died.
Yeah. So I saw a conversation on, I think it's Perth Singles Over 40 because I'm still on that group, not the other one. And they were talking about how I only talk to one person at a time and I won't talk to more than one person because I really want to give my focus to that one person. This is before even going on a date.
Can you imagine cooking a meal and you've got 4 different dishes to cook or a whole bunch of different processes and you did them one at a time? Right. How long it would take for you to get dinner?
Forever.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. You need to do them consecutively.
Imagine if you were cleaning your house or doing your chores. If I just did my washing first and then wait until all my washing was done before I mop my floors.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
It would take me 8 hours to do my chores.
That's what it is. You need to, in this day and age, and it's always been a thing, you need to be talking to hedging your bets. And anyone a decent person, if you then go, hey, look, sorry, but between talking to you and our date, I've actually gone on a date with someone else I really like and I'd like to give that a go or whatever. It doesn't matter.
So, but this guy, right, I talked to him that night. He was at a work function and he messaged me that night at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing. And then I just didn't hear, I'm assuming he's dead.
What do you mean 10 p.m.? Were you supposed to meet him that day?
No, that night. No, I mean, so the first guy, he'd been at a work do that Friday night and had messaged me from there at 10 p.m. at night. So
and the date was the next day.
Yeah. So it would have been, he would have had to have a breakfast date or he met someone at his work function.
No, he's just died.
Yeah, he's clearly died.
Or he's just chicken shit, got cold feet, couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So then the second guy, which isn't totally a disaster, but I thought it was going to be a disaster. We were going to catch up on Saturday because I didn't have kids.
None of them are disaster.
No.
They're a disaster if you meet them and they're slap a waiter or something.
Yeah.
Slap a waiter or something, So,
that's a disaster. They're 65 years old. And
they told you they were 38. Yeah.
Which we know has happened.
Yeah.
I was meant to catch up with him for drinks. Now, he messaged me at lunchtime saying, I'm now on call, so I may have to work tonight. And I was like, oh, here we fucking go.
Had he told you previously that he has a job where he's on
he's a
call?
fireman.
Oh, okay. Of course.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but at the same time, I was like, for fuck's sake.
So he's on call for 4 days straight, though. That's how they work.
Yeah. So anyway, then he messaged me at 6. No, it must have been earlier than that, 4, and said, yeah, I've been called in. And I was like,
hold on, hang on.
Hold up.
Is he a full-time fire or a volunteer?
No, he's full-time.
Well, then he doesn't get called in. He's ready to go the whole time. He shouldn't make any other commitments in that time.
Yeah. Well, I think,
Because if you're a full-time fire and you're on call, quote unquote, it's for a 4-day period, 24/7. You need to be available that whole time. So why the fuck would you make a date with someone if you're a firefighter and you're in your on-call period?
I think maybe he was just hoping that he wouldn't be called in. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of times, fireys sit around doing nothing for 4 days.
I think that's what he was sort of hoping.
But it might not be. So, sorry,
he
mate.
He probably just should have told the truth and been like, I'm on call for the next 4 days.
Yeah.
We can make plans, but it's possible.
Next week when I'm on my off split.
Or if I'm on call, it's highly possible that I will be cancelling on you.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, don't just suddenly go, oh, sorry, I'm on call.
Because he messaged me at lunchtime, 11, 12, whatever, going, I need to tell you I am on call. Can I just say,
bullet dodge, poor organisational skills?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Jesus.
So anyway, I went, no worries, just message. He goes, but I really want to catch up with you. And I was like, okay, just message me. Anyway, we're still messaging and we're going to catch up on Wednesday because this weekend I've got the kids and he's on night shift or afternoon shift, whatever the fuck they're called.
Okay. So, he's just...
But it just left a sour taste in my mouth because of the previous weekend when I'd been fully stood up. Well, not quite stood up, but close.
I just think that he needs to be a little bit more.
He's South African. Do you think that's the problem?
No, don't be racist. Does he have a South African accent?
Yeah.
Does he say, Mark, I'm going to the park?
Almost. And he plays rugby too. So there you go, see?
Yeah, so
I think
as I said, if you're a firefighter and you're on call for 4 days or 3 days or whatever it is how it works, just don't make dates in your on call period.
And I'd be fine with that. And so this weekend he's working 4 days in a row of afternoon shifts, and
of course he is.
So that's fine. And then the next 4 days, including the Wednesday, he's got off. So that's when we're going to catch up.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine, but I just wish he'd been 100% upfront.
Okay. So I'm going to ask again, how's age come into this?
No, it doesn't yet.
Okay.
So this is just bad. This is about my bad experiences.
Yeah.
The age comes into it where I feel like lately I'm either only good for a booty call and casual or I'm getting nothing.
Do you think that that's exclusive to being over 40 or do you think that all women have to deal with that?
No, I feel like, I became single at 36. Okay, the first 9 months I was not looking for anything. So it was very successful.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, okay, I'm ready to maybe actually date and look for a relationship, I dated a lot, but it wasn't just people after casual, it was just a lot of idiots. But I feel lately the people I'm matching with, every second guy, maybe every guy, is just interested in casual or is ethically non-monogamous. Okay.
Are their ages varying?
Most of them are in their late 30s and 40s.
Okay. So, why do you think it is? What do you think the perception is?
Okay, so I think that a lot of them have been married. They're now separated or divorced.
Yeah.
And they just want to fuck around.
Yeah. Or if you are 40 and you've never been married, well, I've never been married, so that's a different thing. But let's say
you've been in a long-term relationship.
That's it, and I've got a child.
Yeah.
Let's say you've gotten to this point in your life, like going back to Mr. Adelaide, no children, no big relationships in recent, so they're just incapable of it. Yeah. So it's either that they've either had it and don't want it, or they're just incapable of it. They've gotten to that point in life.
Yeah.
But conversely, we talk about women.
Sure.
Because I've dated women in their 40s. A lot of women in their 40s are damaged as fuck.
Okay.
By men.
Yeah.
Right. And by society. And I don't want damage to sound like a negative thing.
No,
but it's like by the time a woman gets to her 40s, if she's single, she's probably been treated like fucking shit. Right? So sometimes women in their 40s are hard to date.
Yeah.
Because they're very guarded. They're very apprehensive and afraid. Your sister, how old's she?
Yeah, she's 40 this year.
Okay.
Yep.
She's afraid.
Definitely.
She'd be very difficult to date.
She would.
Yeah.
Particularly with her Dockers tattoo.
Yeah. But that might be appealing to some guys, might just like sex on legs. They don't see anything else except the Dockers tattoo. And like,
just
you might as well get an emu export tattoo while you're at it. But yeah, it's the same. Men, same thing. Men might become a bit more like shut down. But I don't think it's any different. I think women do it as well. So from a man's perspective, I've dated women in their 40s and many of them are, and even in their 30s, even like women in their 20s though.
Yeah. Some women just are.
Women just get treated like shit and then they put up a wall. It makes it hard to get through. But we've also spoken like men and women, you get to a point in your life where you just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm super important and you can all get fucked. That also makes it difficult to date because you're not like, and I'm the same. I'm like, I'm going to take your shit. If you're not going to like communicate with me, if you're going to like go out for a drink with me and then I send you a message and all I get in reply is a thumbs up, I'm like, that's the end of the conversation right there.
Right.
And then I might message you again and say hello and you don't respond. Well, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to you anymore because you've clearly given me a sign. Like I'll message you that night after the date. And if you're not engaged with me, Well, you're probably not interested. And I do not have... I'm not going to hang around for that shit.
No way.
You know? So that happens.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they want or where they're going or whatever. I don't know. Or they just don't have the balls to tell you they weren't happy with the date or whatever the situation is. But yeah, a lot of the time I think it goes both ways. People are afraid of repeated situations. Now, we've had this with like so many times I hear women say, oh, you know, he's just carrying a lot of baggage from his previous relationships and he finds it very hard to do this kind of thing or whatever. And like whether it might be a sexual act that the woman likes that the man won't do because like it reminds him of trauma from his past or they just, you know, they emotionally can't detach themselves from their ex-wife. I think women, that happens to as well, but I think women can eventually just move on. Yes. And go, my ex was a fuckwit.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm not emotionally attached.
Pretty early on.
But I think a lot of men, they stay emotionally attached to their exes because in a lot of situations, the men were the reason for the breakup.
Yeah.
And so they're still in love with their partners from
look how many times my ex has asked to get back together. Yep. Says it all.
And it so many times it's happened. Anita's said it to me. My friend Shona's said it to me. Like, you're dating a guy and then, like, the guy she's dating now, it sounds great, but there are issues with things that have happened in his previous relationship. Now, he's also still got a very close relationship with his ex-wife because of the children.
Right.
Yet he's still kind of like, it's a little bit... There's issues there which are relative to that. But then, like, and the same things happened with her previous guy she was dating, who her daughters hated, by the way. Her daughters are like adult teenagers.
Right.
Oh, actually, one of them's 21 now. But anyway, they're adults.
Yeah.
And they didn't get along with this dude. And he was just kind of like, gave them the ick, obviously, for some reason. But for her, he actually had hang-ups from his previous relationship that he couldn't let go of. So I think that maybe that's got something to do with it. Men are like... well, I don't want a repetition of the 10 years I've just had, so therefore I'm not going to commit to this woman. Or they start dating and they get shit scared.
So I look at my ex and the woman he's chosen is... I
just moved my phone like 3 millimeters about 15 times and I don't know why.
Don't know. Weird. It's interesting. And I'll use his new partner as an example. I would say he's chosen someone who is not a strong feminist woman who's rather attractive, me, because he wanted someone that he could treat, like who would like basically not speak back to him, not be like strong and independent and not basically
was he looking for a Stepford wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
He had one for a while, remember?
Yeah, but that's right.
Yeah. So but eventually I regained my personality.
You're also pretty much a child when you met, so you
Very
hadn't
true.
really developed who you were.
And I was away from family and friends who loved me and knew who I was. And I think moving back to Mandurah allowed me to realise who I was. And I had the safety net of family who'd be like, fuck him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like Billy's mum. We met when she was 21. And then, you know.
Not much of a difference between, I was 22. Same.
Yeah,
That's
you
young.
You grow.
Yeah.
But also, like, I know of friends who from high school were dating and then they like were super in love, and then when they turned 18, 19, they got married, and then by the time they were 26, they were separated and they've got kids.
Yeah.
And now they're divorced. And it's almost inevitable. And our mutual friend.
Yeah, they were together from,
Never been with anyone else.
My sister, like 16 and 18.
It breaks
and yet
you.
now,
it
looking at him now,
you.
he is honestly so much happier because he's got his equal, even though she's younger than him.
But the thing is, I think the point I'm getting at is not everyone has the ability to learn and grow. Like, for me, I was 40, whatever it was, when Billy's mum and I separated. It's been, I don't even know how long now, 8 years now, right? Now, in that time, I've had a few relationships. I've had time for myself, and I've gained awareness of things. I've learned about attachment styles. I've learned about, what narcissists are, and I've just learned a lot. I've gone to therapy. I've done a lot of reading. I do this show. There's a lot of things I do for myself. I have female friends, so I've kind of become in touch with how to be better. A lot of people don't do that.
True.
They just get damaged and then they have this wall up. So the men that you're encountering, and the thing is with men, we like to be stoic and staunch, so they don't want to show you that they're fucked up. They'll just treat you like shit.
Yeah. And that's all I'm seeing at the moment. And obviously I'm not interested in dating a man in his 20s. Blah.
No, who is? Women in their 20s aren't interested in dating men in their 20s.
No, right? Yes, no. And even men in their 30s, honestly, it's late 30s.
Actually,
yeah. Yes.
I know women in their late 30s and 40s who date men in their 20s because they know they don't have to make commitments to them.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So when I was first single, I was 36, 37. Yes, 100%. They were all
Whereas as a man,
a
woman in her late 20s is an excellent person to make a commitment to.
Because they're at that stage
where that's what they want.
Yeah. So whereas I was definitely seeing a lot of guys in their mid-20s when I first separated because that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
That's all I was interested in. But I didn't want to commit to a guy in his early to mid-30s because they want babies.
Yeah.
That's at that point they're ready to settle down and have children.
So that's the thing, as a man, my age, so I'm in my 40s, if I date a woman who's 28, 29, she's going to want children if she hasn't got them already.
Yeah.
I need to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
But it's different for me because all I have to do is provide sperm. I don't actually have to carry a baby and do all this horrible shit. No, and a woman in her 20s is well more prepared to do that. I'm not actively wanting children. No way. But if the woman said, I want children, then I'm like, cool. It's different for a woman. If you as an elder... you should see the daggers I'm getting. No. As a woman of advanced years, no.
That's not much better. So clear, I'm 41, everyone. I'm 41.
Woman of a certain age. No, okay.
But I'm heading towards that.
As a middle-aged lady.
Oh, that sounds even worse.
We are middle-aged. We're actually beyond middle-aged by statistics.
Ugh.
Average age of a woman is, 78?
Well, I'm fine. I'm still below middle age.
No, you're not.
Oh, fuck. No, I'm not.
Okay. So as middle-aged people, as a middle-aged woman...
I don't feel middle-aged.
Dating a guy who's 30 and he's like, fuck yeah, I want children. Oh. You're like, no. It's different for a man dating a woman who's 30 and then going, I want children. The man can go, yeah, sweet, no worries, cool. Because I don't have to fucking... I mean, you have to be a parent. You can't just make a baby and then sit back and go, you take them to the footy.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you can.
I'm going to Bali.
I would not want to be pregnant now at the age of 41. I couldn't think of anything worse. About 2 years ago, I was looking for sperm donors because I wanted to have one more baby.
Yeah.
I mean, what an idiot.
Were you crazy?
Yes. I was just, my clock was going, have another baby, Skye.
You wanted a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I no matter, Benjamin asks me this all the time. Mum, did you really want a girl? I'm like, no, I've always wanted boys. Always.
But you do know that if you do want to if you do happen to date man and you do want to dress in as women's clothes, then it's totally okay.
I would love that. And
I will absolutely help you with your makeup.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, want to go shopping? Yes.
Yeah.
So and I totally have the two most alpha boys ever. It sucks. My nephew's definitely gay. Hasn't come out yet, but he's going to. He told my sister that he thinks he likes boys and girls.
Yeah.
But that really just means he likes boys.
Yeah. To when you're that age. Can I just go into the term alpha? Mm-hmm. Alpha's not a positive thing.
No, I know.
Alphas are bullies.
Yeah,
in the
I know.
Animal kingdom.
I'm working my ass off to stop that.
Because if you look at lions or gorillas,
the alphas always hang out by themselves.
They hang out by themselves and they bully everyone. They're mean to it. They become the alpha by beating up other men.
I don't know.
Or dominating women.
I shouldn't say that they're alphas, but they are they're just stereotypical boys.
Yeah. So any wanker out there who goes around calling themselves
I'm an alpha.
You're actually a fuckhead.
Yeah, we don't like you.
Yeah.
We like beaters.
Oh, I don't want to go that far either, but like
No.
we just like people to be
be
equal,
yourself.
decent
Yeah.
people, and whether you have like a higher degree of masculinity or you're feminine or whatever, who gives a fuck?
We don't care.
It's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you can wear drag, even better.
I know some super straight dudes who are super feminine. Good for them.
Doesn't really
Yeah.
matter, does it?
I know some gay dudes who are butch as fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So and same with women.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
But
I
anyway,
just
but
want
going
my
back
voice
to
be nice.
going back, I mean, like I said, the age thing. I think we all on both sides we become a little bit scarred, so we need to deal with our scars. Unfortunately, women probably deal with it better. So I think the point I was making, saying that I've encountered some damaged women, is because it's no different to men. It's just that women probably manage it better. It's
Maybe.
like grief.
Yeah, I mean, and what they say by the time a woman leaves a man, or a man leaves a woman, I suppose, or a woman leaves a woman, whatever, you've been talking about it and thinking about it for 2 to 3 years. So when I like left my ex, I'd already mourned. So
Yeah,
I
you
came
shut
out.
off, yeah.
I came out of that ready
Yeah.
to date. Whereas for a lot of guys, I think they often their wife or partner leaves them.
Well, they say that like mourning a relationship is harder than mourning the dead because the dead are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
You know what? That's the problem with having an ex and having children.
Yeah.
You just see them all the
they're
time.
there and they exist.
Oh, they never go away.
So it's hard to mourn that relationship, especially if you have mutual friends.
Yeah.
Because they might pop up on social media, whether you're friends with them or not. You know, even if you've got them blocked,
Yeah.
a photo of them might appear on a mutual friend's timeline or something like that. Like so, whereas the dead are gone,
Yeah.
and there's no animosity.
It's
you know?
interesting though. Like I have a friend who she lost her fiance when they were very young. Like she must have been 20, 21. And she's married with children now, but she still puts posts up on social media about his death and still talks about him all the time.
Yeah. I mean, my dad's birthday was on Thursday last week. Actually, no, it was on Monday this week. What am I talking about? So, of course, I was talking about my dad.
Yeah.
Because he's been dead for, will be 11 years this year. Actually, 10 years. I don't know.
Anyway.
It's been a while.
Right.
But, yeah, but you're still, like, you don't write them off.
No, of course not.
But you've got to move on with life. I mean, I haven't lost a partner that way. So losing your father or your mum is a bit different too.
And obviously it was a very tragic death. I remember I met her my
But
first
how long
sort of
ago
job.
was it?
Well, I met her at my first job out of uni, so I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm 27 now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so when I met her, I'd met her and it had been a few years since he died. And I remember we went and had lunch and I'd only been working there for like a week or two.
Yeah.
She told me the whole story of his death.
Yeah. See, no one's ever going to replace that person.
Never.
Yeah.
And so she puts these posts up on the anniversary of his death. She still goes to see his family, his parents. That would take a strong man to be married to that. Like, I don't know how.
Well, I don't know. The same. Because she's still in love with him.
Yeah, and she always will be because all she has now is the happy memories.
Yeah.
She's forgotten about the bad things.
Whereas, like the ex thing, you're not in love with them anymore.
No.
But if you've still got some sort of like that
Resentment
overhang,
or-
that baggage that kind of affects you, like, oh no, we can't go to that restaurant because that's where me and that bitch used to go.
Yeah.
Or then as soon as someone refers to their ex in that manner as well, you kind of go, you're a grudge holder. Like, can't you just move the fuck on and just ignore them? Excuse me. I can talk about exes who are shit people. But I'm not going to call them names.
No.
Or like, it's one of those fucking singles pages where people get on there and like, who wants to murder their ex, hey? Like, why?
It's terrible.
Just move the fuck on.
Those singles pages are the worst.
Yeah, but
They really are.
I mean, I can understand if your ex is still in your life because you have children and you don't have to enjoy having...
No.
And some of them are fucking idiots.
Yeah, and sometimes I joke about trucks and things, but I don't want that to happen.
No, but it's a fine line with comedy. But let's say everything's funny or nothing's funny. But yeah, it's just you've got to. I don't know. This isn't the like what the podcast is about this week, but I think this is the underlying thing: is like people can't move on. And so until and we've discussed this in so many different contexts
Yeah.
with different subjects we've talked
Yeah.
about, you need to be able to move on and be solid and secure within yourself before you even date. If you can't let go of your baggage, if you can't go and get some sort of help from it, if you can't manage, and I'm not saying that you can go, well, I'm going to fix my mental health. Fixed.
Yeah, it doesn't
I'm going to
work
go
like
to the
that.
gym and exercise will make me well. No, it won't. It'll make you fit.
Yeah.
And it'll give you something to focus on.
Yeah.
It's some people, they suffer from disorders. Okay, that never goes away. You're talking about getting a tattoo for eating disorders.
Yeah.
Those things, they never go away, but you have to manage them somehow. But things like bad relationships. You can make that go away.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can move on from that.
I think the thing that I hate the most with dating apps with these guys that want to have casual.
Sorry, unless of course there was like abuse. And
that's different.
That's affected
Yeah,
you. But you got to manage it somehow
do.
so that you can be with someone.
I agree. I think though the thing with like these guys that say they want casual, what annoys me the most is they don't say it until they say it. Like, be upfront.
I didn't have that glass of water until you poured it for me.
Oh, fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like,
I do, but you want to rephrase it?
yes. So I'm coming up with some good shit today. Yeah. So I'll swipe on a guy that looks good and like someone I'd want to date, and then it's not until he goes, so what are you looking for? And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's pretty clear. And then he's like, I'm just looking for something casual.
How's that? How you finding the app?
Oh, I hate that question.
It's a fucking app, mate. What do you mean? Like, I find it on my phone where I saved it. You know, it's usually alphabetical order. I just scroll to there, or I put it in my favorites, and that's how I find it. And then I use it like any other fucking app. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing I hate
I'm here,
the most.
aren't I?
Yeah. Clearly, I'm like not loving the app, but I'm not got many other
I'm not
options.
loving the experience. If you ask me how is your dating experience going, that's a different question.
Yes.
How are you finding the app? How are you finding being an intelligent human being? Oh, you're not.
Yeah, right. So that's one of the questions, and the other one is like, what are you looking for?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
But most of the time it's obvious. You now tick a box. I put, I think I put dating.
Yeah.
So.
On a dating app. Whoa.
Yeah. Some people put not sure or still deciding, and I hate that. I'm like, just be upfront. If you're looking for something casual, fine. It's like the guy that he put nothing. He just put lots of interesting information, so I swiped. It wasn't until I went to the final page of all his profile, I went the 6 pages worth, that I found that he was E&M. And I was like,
it was on there.
Yeah, but
it was buried.
I said, mate, you need to. I didn't say mate. That would be weird.
Yeah, mate. Listen, Cobber.
So, mate, you need to be fucking upfront
sort that
with
shit
this
out,
shit.
pal.
I said to him, you need to put E&M at the start.
Yeah.
Honestly, I said, because truthfully, I don't want to date E&M anymore, and I've had a few bad experiences, and I prefer to know straight away.
Well, don't they give you the? Oh no, that's just your sexuality and your gender.
I've now put that I'm bisexual. I almost wish I haven't, because guys are like,
to a threesome.
Oh yeah, hey, I like bisexual women. I'm like, good for you. That's wonderful.
You do realise that women are women, whether they're bisexual or straight or gay or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think they immediately assume that means that I'm up for a threesome. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That I'll like his wife. So many married men cheating are on dating apps.
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
They're bold as fuck.
Yeah. Yes.
But then you're like, haven't we had stories? Someone told us about. Well, you've said this where there was it was a third party who's the person they worked with. They saw their husband on a dating app. Yeah, and how to approach that kind of thing.
Now, I just have guys on dating apps with their faces going, looking for something on the side, married but want to be discreet. I'm like, discreet with your face on a dating app?
This is super discreet, mate. Like, if you live in the same town, like, fuck
might
me.
Might as well put an advert up on a billboard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but discreet, looking for an affair.
That's not discreet. Yeah.
Like, at least put the big black picture. You know how they put the black square?
Oh, you just don't put anything,
Yeah,
you just don't put a photo.
Yeah, or a photo of like an ocean. There's lots of oceans out there.
Or just your chest.
Oh, I do love that. Or like looking up at the chin. It's good.
Yeah, well, we had that whole experience. But yeah, so anyway, I don't think it's going to change for you.
No. So what we're saying then is not, is it my age? It's still my age, isn't it? It's still an age thing.
There's not necessarily, but as you get older, the instances become more prevalent.
Awesome.
I think.
That's great.
Because you're going to, like you said, the pool's getting smaller and smaller.
And it's really, I don't know. I'm getting worried. Like, I like my company and that's fine. I'm worried about my future.
Look, my grandmother, who is passed, she met her husband when she was 83.
Oh, okay. I feel good now.
And he was like 90 and then died the year later. But
they were happy for a year?
And then, and she married another guy.
I wish I'd known her.
Yeah. She
sounds
met
awesome.
She met her last two partners in the last... Well, she ended up with dementia. Yeah. But like in the last 5 to 10 years of her life.
Sounds great.
Right? So in her like 70s and 80s.
The
last... One of them, yeah. Yeah. But the last two were both George. And we think maybe that had something to do with her dementia.
Possibly.
So it was easier to date another George.
That makes sense.
Because then you remember the George from before. That's probably not a nice thing to say, but whatever. If you can't laugh at some people's, dementia is one of those things.
I think you have to laugh a little bit because it's such a sad disease.
It is. But it's I don't want that to be like, well, it's going to take you till you're 80. So once you get to a certain age, it doesn't fucking matter because that's how long it takes for men to fix their brains.
Yeah, well,
no.
I mean, I'm hoping not. But but my mum, she's 71. I know she's going to be single forever. She doesn't want to
like
date.
my mum as well.
Yeah.
She's not interested. She couldn't care less.
No. Our mums are quite similar.
But I think that comment that people make, and they make it all the time, and mainly women, men say it too, I'm done. I'm never doing this again. You've said this. Yeah. I'm done. I'm out. Why do I bother?
I never say that.
Yeah, I know so many women who have said it.
Never said it.
And have just gone, I'm not going to do this anymore. Yes, you fucking are.
We know it. I say, I'm off the dating apps. And you're like, okay then. And then a week later, I'm like, I'm back on.
So I had this day. I'm like, where'd you meet them? Dating app.
Isn't that weird? I don't know how that happened.
But you just, unless you want to be single and celibate, like, keep dating.
Yeah.
Keep trying. And yeah, it's going to fucking suck. Like, I don't know. It's like, I was going to say Usain Bolt didn't get to be the fastest man in history by just being the fastest man in history. Yeah, okay, he was.
Yeah.
He was running super fast.
He was eating chicken nuggets while doing it.
But he still had to train, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Michael Jordan... He still had to train.
True.
He's still the best. He still had a coach.
So I still have to train.
You still have to train. You still have to practice. And
dating.
Yeah. Because at some point, let's say you're a restaurant reviewer. You're going to have to go to a lot of shit restaurants. And if you're like, I'm getting sick of shit restaurants. No, it's your job.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah.
Fine. I'll just keep swiping on dickheads and go on occasional dates.
Yeah, dude, you just don't know. And I'm saying this to all people, like all single people, predominantly women, obviously. Just keep trying because it's
swimming.
Just keep swimming. Exactly. So I know it sounds stupid, but you can't give up because if you never go, you never know.
No, the never land.
Yeah, if you don't try, you won't achieve. So giving up and going, I'm sick of this. Yes, it sucks.
I mean, it does suck, but at the same time, I love my own company and I'm fantastic. But also I like the idea of having someone in my life.
If Tony Hawk gave up the first time he broke a bone, would every person in the world know his name?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Because he fell off a skateboard when he was 12 and hurt himself? Yeah. No, he got back up and he did it again.
Yeah, so I'll just keep having people ghost me and you know.
And you can bitch to me about it. Honestly, you can come online and come on here and we can bitch about it.
But if I stopped dating, this podcast would cease to exist.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. We'd find something to talk about. But,
I mean, that's true as well.
At the end of the day, if you stop dating, you don't meet any men. No. You don't get the experience of going out for a drink and having a chat with someone, even if they do turn out to be a dickhead. You don't get to experience that. You don't get to then possibly, and I know people are just going to go, yeah, Damien, but it's fucking hard and it never works. why are men like this? I don't fucking know. Because we're dickheads. Women are pretty shit too sometimes.
Yeah,
we're humans.
It's Paul. I feel like guys get all the bad. Like we talk about them
until Westworld is a viable thing, and the AI is that good that they're not going to turn crazy and murder us all. If we can have until we can have avatars. Fucking deal with humans. I'm sorry, humans are shit.
And there's a lot of shit humans.
We have to deal with it. There wouldn't be wars if humans were great. There wouldn't be crimes. Humans are crap, so just deal with it. Yeah. Speaking of crap humans, I wanted to tell this short story, which I'll probably get into next time. But
okay. Are we going to do is it going to be like a sequel?
It's something that's probably going to take more than a few minutes, and we're already at an hour, so we've got to wrap it up.
Okay.
But I was talking to someone 3 weeks ago who told me this story about a catfishing incident that happened to them.
Worse than my catfishing incident?
I'm going to say brah.
Brah. Okay. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
Fuck me.
Is this to be continued then?
Yeah, we'll come back to it because this person sent me video of herself telling the story, because I think she said she recorded it to put it on TikTok and then she never did. But so it's all short form. So it's 23 1-minute videos.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to tell the story, but it's obviously going to take me a little while because it's quite detailed. Yeah. Or we can get her to tell the story herself.
Whatever.
But
I want to know it now.
I've said to her,
am I going to have to wait now?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you now.
I'm going to have to wait with everyone else. Much.
Of course. I'm not going to tell you the story. You need to do your Skye thing.
Yeah, okay.
React to my story.
Fine.
Like I don't hear the depths of your stories, and all I do, but sometimes things you need to keep to yourself until we get here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was full on.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
It was over a long period of time, affecting multiple people.
Oh my God.
And
this sounds like a podcast. Like there's a podcast about a crazy person that...
This is a Netflix document. This is a 3-part
I am so excited.
fucking Netflix series.
I will play her in the series.
I could send you the videos. Now, look, what I'll do... I might speak to her and see if she wants to call us and tell the story.
Yeah. This isn't Karen then?
No, it's not Karen.
Oh.
Just so, because I think that it's good to ask questions because I've got so many questions.
I've got questions now.
But we could make it a whole show because this experience...
The catfishing...
Yeah, an actual not just this guy did this. It was like...
Not like a one-date thing. This is over months.
This is over months and months.
I'm fascinated
this is a
already.
full, detailed, false identity... fucking catfish.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so I'll talk to her and see if we can cure up for sometime in the future.
Yes.
She might be able to come over to my place or whatever, and we'll just have her tell her story because
I'm counting down.
Holy fuck. And she's not famous or anything. She probably doesn't want her
person.
identity shared, but
can we do the voice thing? Like, hello,
I said that to her, but she's like, I couldn't give a shit.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, she doesn't necessarily want her name said,
but she doesn't need a voice change.
But it might also. I think it's one of those things. But maybe if we I don't know, we could put this guy's photo up and see if anyone knows him because there's a lot to it.
Okay, I can't wait.
It's full on. But anyway, we'll leave it there.
Let's leave it there then. Oh, I'm
Good
excited.
Times.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're done.
Till next time.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening to In My Lounge Room. Intro music written and performed by Damien McKay. Don't forget you can find us on social media, In My Lounge Room on Instagram, In My Lounge Room podcast on Facebook. So send us a message, tell us your stories. You can find Skye on Instagram on SkyeStar_PT. That's SKYESTAR_PT. And Damo is the Damo, THEE_DAMO. Don't forget, I've got some music on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere you can listen to music. Just search for Damien McKay and you'll find it. See you next time.